Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Hess with REMAX Capitol Properties.
And I'm TJ Love, and today we're talking about kind of summers in Cheyenne, but also why Cheyenne. So any buyers that are looking to move to Cheyenne, we're going to kind of tell you about this place and kind of why you should choose it.
Absolutely.
I was just going to start because I'm not actually originally from Cheyenne, and so like the number.
Where did you grow up? Sorry, where are you from?
Saratoga.
Okay.
So it's a really small town. So I moved to Cheyenne, and it's a lot bigger than where I'm from, which is great, but it also has that like small town vibe, that a lot of community activities and stuff. And yeah, so if you're kind of looking for a place that's not as big, but has more community, you know, the schools are great here. And kind of that small town vibe a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I loved about Cheyenne after we moved here, was it did not take very long before you felt like that small town community.
Yeah.
Right? You got to know people pretty quickly, and then before you knew it, you knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and then it kind of spread across Wyoming.
Yeah.
Which I love. So I agree, it's like a perfect small town, and yet it has so many things close by. I mean, we're 2 hours from Denver, and we've got some of these bigger cities that we can get to if we want to go do something different. But I do love Cheyenne because of that. So I agree 100% with you.
For sure. I always say it's like a small town vibe with the communities and everything, but it has the big town amenities and local spots.
Yeah, I agree. So what are some of the things you like about Cheyenne? Why Cheyenne? I think you and I are definitely different demographics. I raised my kids here. We've been here 21 years, right? So I can speak more about raising kids and the things that we've done. But what are some of the things that you like about Cheyenne?
Well, for me, like I grew up in a small town, so we didn't have. I'm an active person. I like doing a lot of like sports and stuff still. And for me, like Cheyenne has like basketball leagues. We actually have a basketball team at REMAX here. We compete in the fall, and so they have like different summer leagues, not just for basketball, but for volleyball and different sports. It has, I think they just installed some pickleball courts or something at Lions Park or somewhere else, the Pickler, I think.
Well, we got to give a shout out to Mark Pewitt, right? With pickleball, because he's kind of the king of pickleball. So that's
he's
great.
The king. He's the champ at pickleball. But that's become a really big sport for all ages. So.
Yeah. Do you play pickleball?
I don't.
I've watched pickleball. I've never played.
Yeah.
It looks fun. That's awesome.
It does look fun. Yeah.
So do you go to gym here in town? Have you found that there's gyms and the like those kind of amenities that you like, that you find have here?
Yeah. So I go to Gold's Gym. It's really nice. It's kind of it's a cool town because like there's like a few big gyms and they're all spread out. So you know, wherever you live or wherever, you can go to that gym and it's big. It all has the same stuff. I like Gold's because it has a basketball court and some different amenities and stuff, but that's why I chose it, and I live nearby. But, yeah.
Then I've already hit 30 and they're great too, and I love that, and that even feels like a small family, just you get to know people, right?
Yeah.
And then you meet them there and you find out you have these other connections in the community, which is kind of fun too.
Yeah.
So
that's
awesome.
I meet a lot of people and sometimes clients
at the gym. I love that.
Yeah, and like I said, like it's not really a big town. You kind of get to know people here. You kind of see the same people around and then get to know them. And so
it is great. I do love that about here. And then I think too we have some really great church communities here. I think some pretty large congregations for church, and so that's really nice to have. It's refreshing to have that. Just really great opportunities, I think, in our community to be involved with things. The Chamber does a great job of promoting events and things like that in our community and businesses, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I can't really say anything negative about Cheyenne. We, like I said, have been here for a while, and raising our kids here, part of the reason we stayed here because it was such a great community to bring our kids in the schools and everything, so we've been really thrilled with that. And then summer time in particular, it is beautiful here in Cheyenne. I love that it is not so hot that you're dying. I mean, we do get some hot days, but not like you would get if you go down further into Colorado or other areas. Yeah. So you can still go out and do things. It doesn't kill you like you would find somewhere else. So
yeah, for sure.
So, well, maybe some of the events. Let's talk about some of the things we know coming up for sure in Cheyenne. And probably the first one we need to hit on is Cheyenne Frontier Days.
Yeah.
And that is a big deal here in Cheyenne. And I know anybody who's listening that's from Cheyenne knows exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're not and you're new here or thinking to come here, so Cheyenne Frontier Days runs the last full week of July every year. And it is the world's largest outdoor rodeo and Western celebration. And it is pretty awesome. We, my husband and I and our family have been involved in Cheyenne Frontier Days for many, many, many years. When we first got here, somebody had said, oh my gosh, it's crazy, get out of town. And so we did. We literally got out of town for the first couple of years. And then about 5 years in, we decided to try some of the events.
Yeah.
And we have been hooked ever since. It has been really fun. And then we've had family come out from all over different parts of the country to come for Frontier Days, and it's been amazing. But do you participate in Frontier Days stuff? What do you do?
Yeah. I've only been to the rodeo a few times.
Okay.
You know, it's not like totally my thing, but I do like watching it.
Yeah.
And like the concerts are great. They always have like a mix of artists they bring, and but not just that, even for kids too. You know, they have the big carnival and all the rides there, and the food, the little shopping, the local stores or
there's a lot going on, isn't there? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So a rundown of some of the events for Frontier Days this year. Obviously the rodeo runs at Frontier Park, and that's daily, and it runs 1 to 4 p.m. every day, and that is I think it's the 19th through the 27th is when that runs. And then my husband and I both volunteer. We're on the volunteer committee for the parades, and so I can speak about that. But we have a parade that runs downtown 4 times during that week. It runs Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So that's the 19th, 22nd, 24th, and 26th. And those parades are pretty awesome. And the first time my dad came, he asked if there were any horses left in Wyoming, because there's so many horses in the parade. But it's pretty awesome. It's definitely a Western parade, and they keep it that way, and I love it. So it's very different than some of the other parades you would find other places.
Is that what you kind of see in the parades? I think I've only been to the parade
once.
So.
Yeah, you'll get all the horses. Everybody's on horseback. You get all the rodeo queens, which is awesome. That's primarily what I do, is help with the rodeo queens and the dignitaries that come. But we get all of our political leaders here. They come and visit. The governor always comes, and it's just great. It's such a great rodeo. And then we have some of those traditional carriages that are sitting in the museum that they pull out for the parades. These are these beautiful old carriages that have been kept as display all year, and then they run them through the parade. It's pretty neat. So it's a great parade.
Yeah.
Lots of horses. Yeah. So I would say go down and see that. If you go down to the Capitol building and just head south on Capitol, find a spot to sit, you'll see it all come through. And then we have talk about community and the parade. The high school bands always come, so we have them. They come every single time. We have a lot of the military comes through. All of the different people in the military come in, the Guard and the Air Force Base and all that. It's pretty awesome to watch the parade.
Do they still do the pancake breakfast?
They do. The pancake breakfast is downtown over the depot, and they do that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if anybody knows and can correct me, my understanding is this started as kind of a way to like if they needed to feed people in a hurry, this kind of started as that event. The Kiwanis Club, I think, runs this. Anyway, they do a pancake breakfast, and they feed thousands of people in a matter of hours. Hours. And I went down the first time we took our kids, and the line, I couldn't believe the line, how long it was, but we got through there so fast with a plate full of pancakes and ham, and it was incredible how fast it was. And so now that's when we have people come into town, that's something we try to go do. And it's free. It's free to the public. You don't have to pay anything. You just go get in line and they give you pancakes. It's pretty awesome. The Air Force Thunderbirds come, and they'll be here again this year. They're switching it up a little bit. They are going to perform on Saturday. So if you want to watch the air show for the Thunderbirds, come. That's a great show. They will be in the parade on Thursday, so you'll get to watch the Thunderbirds will ride down in a wagon, get to wave and meet them. They're pretty awesome. The Extreme Bull Riders, it's PRCA Extreme Bulls, will be here that Monday and Tuesday night. What is that? 21st and 22nd. So that's always exciting to watch the bull riders. And then I do have a rundown of the night shows. So after the rodeo every day, they pack it all up and bring out the stage and have night shows. And I do have the rundown for this year. So on the 18th, Ian Munzik with Travis Tritt. And I had some friends talking about that last night. They're super excited to see Travis Tritt, which is fun. Jordan Davis with Brett Young on the 19th. Bailey Zimmerman with Josh Ross. And I apologize, I don't know a lot of these people. I'm kind of out of it on this. The 24th, Luke Bryan, who I do know who that is, with Priscilla Block. And then on the 25th, Megan Maroney and Waylon Wyatt. I'm not sure if I missed anyone, so if I did, let me know.
Leave in the comments who you're going to see.
Exactly, if you have tickets. My family did, for several years, we did season tickets and we go to every show. I'm a little older now, so that doesn't quite appeal to me as much. So we specifically pick different ones if we want to go see that night or whatever, instead of doing every night.
Yeah.
When you're doing every night and then running to a parade to help the next morning, it's exhausting. It's an exhausting week, but it's fun. And then just a shout out too, if you want tickets or information on Frontier Days, you can go to their website at cfdrodeo.com and you can get all the information about the events. But that, I would say, is probably one of the biggest thing that Cheyenne is known for is Cheyenne Frontier Days. It's a very big deal.
Yeah, for sure. And I know like this year it's a lot more country artists, but it changes every year.
It does.
They usually have like a pop guy.
Yeah.
Like I went to T-Pain last year.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know. But these shows, everybody gets so excited for these shows, which I love. It's so fun. And they're pretty great concerts, you know.
They are.
You're outdoors, and we've sat through concerts in the rain that have still been awesome, and you know, concerts where you're freezing and concerts where it's hot. I mean, it's just so different, but it's really an awesome venue to be out there at Frontier Park for these shows. And then, like you said, the carnival and all the other things that they have during the day for you to go check out. It's pretty awesome.
They have so many things. And like the pancake breakfast, the parades, the carnival, everything. Yeah. You can go through all the little shops. They have a bunch of little, what do you call them? Little, like, each business has a pop-up place, and there's a bunch of different businesses in there. Yeah, it's great. It has, it is. Well, awesome. Some other things. So just some other events that would be going on here in Cheyenne before we talk about the real estate market. Just a couple other things. I have kind of a list here of places to go visit or things to do. We did just have Cheyenne Day here at the park. That was, last week or 2 weeks ago? And that's a pretty big deal. Lots of businesses come in and they have booths set up and events and activities, and that's really fun to do. But that is every year they do that here in Cheyenne. So I've got a list. So Cheyenne Botanical Gardens and the Paul Smith Children's Village. I have not been to the Children's Village in many, many years because my kids are quite a bit older. But I understand it's pretty fun and they have quite a few activities for kids over there. Yeah, I don't know if I've been there either. I've been to the Botanic Gardens.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. The Wyoming State Museum, the Wyoming State Capitol Building, all right by each other, which are neat to go take a tour of. The Terry Bison Ranch, which is crazy because, like I said, we've been here a while. I have never been, besides I went to a wedding down there, but I've never done the Terry Bison Ranch, like tourist things. Oh, okay. Have you ever done that?
I haven't, no.
So I understand they have train ride and you can go see the buffalo. It's pretty neat. And it's just down not too far from the border of Colorado from here, but it's pretty neat. The Cheyenne Depot Museum, which is the history of the railroad here, which is a big deal. That's kind of why Cheyenne became Cheyenne. Yeah. The Cowgirls of the West Museum, which history of the women in the West, and that's downtown and pretty neat. We did the historic Governor's Mansion tour probably about 6 years ago, and I loved it. I thought it was great, that old historic Governor's Mansion downtown.
Okay.
Which is neat. If you haven't done that, you need to go do that.
Yeah,
it was pretty fun.
Done that,
yeah, it was really neat. And then one of the other things I love too is if you notice around Cheyenne, we have the big boots. Have you ever seen all the big boots? They have I'm not sure if you get it through the chamber or whatever, but they have a big boot hunt. You can kind of go out and find all the big boots, which is pretty neat to see how they've all been decorated, and the businesses that have them have all decorated them and stuff. They're pretty neat.
Yeah.
So that's
how many
cool.
are there?
I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot. Okay. There's a lot. Happy Jack Road Drive. Have you driven that road on Happy Jack up to the Lincoln Head Monument up there?
Yeah. I was going to mention Kurt Gowdy State Park out there. You can. It has a lot of like trails if you're into hiking or mountain biking. They do paddle boarding on the lake there. Yeah. They do a lot.
They do a lot up there. And then Vidavoo, to go hiking up there, they've got some great hikes up in Vidavoo. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Yeah. Have you ever gone up and done the Hidden Falls hike?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. My family loves that one. So that one's fun. Let's see what else is there. We've got Lions Park downtown, the Cheyenne Aquatic Center, Wyoming National Guard Museum. Oh, the Greenway Trail. So do you ever use the Greenway Trail? So there's about 40 miles of Greenway around Cheyenne that you can walk, run, bike, which is awesome, especially when the weather's so beautiful here to get out there and do that, which is awesome. And then one of my favorites is the Fort Laramie National Historic Site. Now that's not Cheyenne, that's down the road by Torrington, but that's something we've always taken our family to when they come into town. It's was a trading post and then became the largest military post in the Northern Plains, and so it's a pretty neat historic site to go see, and that's just an hour from here. So, but there's lots of fun things to do in Cheyenne, and I do think summer is gorgeous. Now, I will say it's kind of known that come July in our beautiful summer months, we're going to have hailstorms in the evening. Yeah. And we get nailed with hail usually in July, so keep that in mind. Yeah. But we kind of are used to it and know what's coming.
I will say though, like, we haven't had a big hailstorm, like golf size.
I know. Okay, I'm knocking on wood. You're saying that out loud.
But I'm just saying
But it does come, huh?
Yeah.
And it has been a while. It's been a while. But we live out a little bit north of town, and we sit on our porch and in the evenings and watch those storms come in. It is beautiful coming in from those plains. I know it can be scary sometimes, but it is gorgeous.
Yeah. It's nothing to be like scared of. I mean, you don't need to put your flowers inside or whatever.
Right, cover up your plants.
Yeah.
Right, but Cheyenne's beautiful during the summertime. And I think, I wonder sometimes when our buyers come into town and they purchase a home this time and then they live through the winter if they're regretting their decision, because winters can be a little tough and the wind can be tough. But man, our summers and our fall here are just beautiful. Love it. Love it.
For sure.
So let's talk real estate market. What are you seeing in the market right now?
I mean, it's popping. It's definitely a lot more active. I have a few buyers that are starting to look more. A few of my buyers, they are more willing to buy now just because it is summer and it's a lot more easier to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't want to move in the winter, so that's something I'm seeing more. I know you deal with a lot more sellers.
I do, yeah, and I think we get a lot of mixed messages here because I think people are like, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? And my opinion is it's not really either. It's kind of just neutral right now, but I do agree with you. I do think it's, for me anyway, it feels like there's some energy coming back. And I will say historically, July is pretty sluggish with the market. We have 4th of July weekend, and then Frontier Days just dominates the last 2 weeks of July. Yeah. And so, but it has been, for July, it has been pretty busy, Yeah. I have a lot of listings, and those are getting showings. People are looking for houses right now. I know the interest rates is something we're talking about a lot, and we were hoping for an interest rate cut. It didn't happen. They're supposed to be meeting again, I think, in the next couple weeks, and so maybe we'll get something there. And that's, if it does cut, I think we'll see a surge again in buyers coming back.
Yep.
But I do think the market that's my prediction. I may be wrong, so don't take that as gospel, but I do feel some energy in the market right now. And I think it's a good time to be a buyer and a seller. Yeah, I do. There's, in some of our different price ranges, it's going to be a little bit more competitive. Yeah. It's harder to get into some of these houses, and we're seeing competing offers on things. And so that can be a little bit hard. But, buying a house now, even once interest rates drops, you can refinance. But waiting it out, the side effect of interest rates dropping is more competition and the prices go up on homes. So for me, I'd recommend, if you're looking, now's a great time to get into the market and really get in there and start looking at houses.
I agree.
So yeah, as far as where we're going, I'm not really sure. Like I said, Wyoming or Cheyenne tends to be a little sluggish with Frontier Days. I can never predict 1 year from the next exactly how it's going to be, because as soon as I do, it totally goes the opposite way. So I'm kind of hoping that's the case. Is if you look back the last 3, 4, 5 years, July's been sluggish, but I feel like it's going to pick up and it's coming. And so I hope I'm right on that, and we'll see. But I don't know. What do you think?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
So great things about Cheyenne. We've talked about a lot of the events and the places to go visit and the things to see. Let us know if you guys have any suggestions we've missed. I'm sure there's things out there.
Yeah, in the comments, my people from Cheyenne, leave your favorite things to do in Cheyenne, or some hot spots that we missed that you should check out. For those people that are moving into Cheyenne, give them some insight.
What is something? One of the big things we didn't talk about was On the plaza, Friday nights on the plaza.
Oh, right.
Have you ever gone and done that?
A few times.
A few times, okay.
I went and seen Sir Mix.
Sir Mix a lot?
Yeah, like a few years ago. So.
I heard that was good, actually. I didn't go to that, but I heard it was good.
It was good.
So that's a great time. That's Fridays down at the depot, and they have live music and drinks, and I understand. I've never been down to it, but I understand it's pretty awesome.
Okay. I haven't been in a few years. I know they do like drinks, and it's just a good, like I said, like a small town community vibe. That's what it is. They play, bands come. I know there's a couple other like big time artists
that come and do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome. It's pretty impressive that they come to our little tiny venues here in Cheyenne, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
But it is pretty neat to have those events. So you and I are definitely in different stages of life. Mm-hmm. I'm older, you're younger. So on a Friday night for me, it's dinner with some friends and maybe go to a movie. I don't really hit anything super busy or active.
My Friday night is probably more boring than yours. I promise that.
Which I kind of love. I have to be honest. I love that. I think this is such a great place to be. And it's so nice just in our own, because, a lot of these houses, like we have acreage, a lot of people have some land. Mm-hmm. And it's just so nice to go sit out in our open spaces and see the stars and things. So I love Cheyenne. I love being here during the summer. I just think it's beautiful. Yeah. And I do love that it's a little bit... I don't know, maybe less active. I shouldn't say that, because that's probably one of the biggest complaints my kids have, is it's so boring. But I'm like, no, it's perfect.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And like just down the road, 40 minutes from here is Fort Collins, and like that's bigger than Cheyenne. There's a lot more things going on. Then if you just keep going down, there's Denver eventually, where like you have everything. So it's not like we're far from other, the big city, if that's what you're
and we're so close to places you can go hiking and outdoor, up the road, and go boating and go skiing, and it's just so great. There's so much to do. So anyway, that's our plug for Cheyenne in the summer. I love it. Big fan. I love summer here. If you're looking at selling or buying or want any information, hit us up. We're happy to help and reach out and get you any information. And then again, if you want information on what's happening here in town, go to the Chamber website or go to Cheyenne Frontier Days to their website, or let us know if you need any information.
Yeah.
So,
That's all we have.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.